There is a growing outrage among Star Wars fans known as Reylos about the ending to The Rise of Skywalker. Rey and Kylo share a kiss of death at the end of the movie, leaving them traumatized, and other fans bemused. John Boyega sent a tweet that was honestly very funny, just lightly poking fun at the idea of a romance between Rey and Kylo, considering they did nothing but fight to the death the whole movie. And there's a lot of people who share that same confusion. Rey literally strikes a killing blow against Kylo Ren, so the idea of a romance doesn't make much sense. But even JJ clarified what was going on between the two of them. Following a screening of the movie at the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, JJ Abrams was recorded on camera speaking to a group of viewers about Rey and Kylo's relationship, and he answered a fan question about whether or not he thought of Rey and Kylo Ren in a romantic context since The Force Awakens.
But it wasn't, there's as much of a brother-sister thing between Kylo and Rey as there is a romantic thing. So it's not like literally like a sort of like a sexually romantic kind of thing. It's more like they're just bound together in this crazy, spiritual way that, again, felt romantic to me, but it was...
Okay, first of all... And here we have another thing J.J. Abrams has to clarify off-screen because he left no room for it in his movie. Though his explanation about this makes no sense to me. They either have romantic feelings for each other or they don't. And a kiss to me and to most people is romantic, so it's very confusing. But what most fans are saying is that if there were romantic feelings behind the kiss, then they seem to come out of nowhere. I mean, she doesn't even know Ben Solo at all as a person. She's only ever known Kylo Ren, this evil figure seduced by the dark side, this mass murderer. So even for there to be a hint of a romance, I feel like there would have had to be more time spent together after his redemption. But he would have had to be redeemed much sooner in his story. And don't get me wrong, I actually think this could have been a legitimate concept if executed correctly. What was necessary for this idea to work, however, was a plan. There needed to be a plan from the beginning of the trilogy. Let's compare, shall we, the supposed romance of Rey and Kylo Ren with a legitimate Star Wars romance, Han and Leia. What happens when they first meet? There's some back and forth jabs.
I don't know who you are or where you came from, but from now on, you do as I tell you, okay?
Look, your worshipfulness, let's get one thing straight. I take orders from just one person, me.
So one day you're still alive. Will somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way?
No reward is worth this.
But then there's also some mutual admiration.
Wonderful girl! I'm gonna kill her or I'm beginning to like her.
We're right above you. Stand by.
You came nothing? You're braver than I thought.
Nice, come on.
They definitely have chemistry. It's really cute, and again, from the very beginning of the trilogy, there's something there between the two of them, and a foregleam of a possible romance.
What do you think of her, hon?
Trying not to, kid.
Good.
Still, she's got a lot of spirit. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think a princess and a guy like me?
No.
In Rey and Kylo's first meeting, he threatens, knocks her out, and takes her prisoner. Later interrogates her and tries to get information out of her by invading her mind. But what made me absolutely sure there would be no such romance between them ever was the moment he murdered Han Solo, with whom Rey formed a close attachment to. Yeah, that kind of puts a damper on things, doesn't it? And is there anything here to indicate a possibility of a romance? I think not. Let's look at the second movie in these trilogies, Empire Strikes Back. We pick up right at the beginning where they were in their relationship with this sort of mutual jabs, though there were still some compliments this time.
Come on. You want me to stay because of the way you feel about me?
Yes, you're a great help to us. You're a natural leader.
No, that's not it. Come on. Come on.
You're imagining things.
Am I? Then why are you following me? Afraid I was gonna leave without giving you a goodbye kiss?
I just assumed he's a Wookiee.
I can arrange that. You could use a good kiss!
This banter continues to develop throughout the whole movie as they spend the whole time together. Their growing relationship feels natural. There's such a good chemistry between them, leading up to this wonderful moment.
I love you.
I know.
And by the end of the second movie, they already have admitted their feelings for each other. And there is a natural progression to their storyline. In The Last Jedi, we pick up right where we left off also. Kylo Ren on the rampage, and Rey feeling nothing but contempt for him.
And you called me a monster.
You are a monster.
Yes, I am.
We don't really see any character progression with anyone in this movie, let alone a romantic connection between Kylo and Rey. At the beginning, we see Kylo feeling conflicted about murdering another parent, but nothing groundbreaking there. And Rey, for most of the movie, wants nothing to do with him, and dreads every time they're forced to talk. And I'll admit that yes, throughout their Force Bond conversations, there is a growing intimacy, but it seems to be leading to Rey feeling sympathy for Kylo when she learned more about what happened when he turned to the dark side, and not much else. And I wouldn't say that killing people together is the best environment for love to flourish. That's just me. Again, there's no natural progression here of any sort of romantic feelings. At the end of the movie, they're both back to where they were from the start. Kylo spewing death and murder, yada yada yada, and Rey wanting nothing to do with him. Yeah, not the makings for a great romance. But now to the last movies in these trilogies. Return of the Jedi. At the very beginning, Leia coming to Han's rescue, they're reunited, and she tells him she loves him. It's very sweet. Their mutual feelings for each other are very much established. There's no denying their feelings for each other in each interaction.
I love you.
I know.
I love their love story. Now to the Rise of Skywalker. Oh, where to begin? Again, throughout the entirety of this movie, they're fighting, but not flirty back and forth banter. No, to the death. Kylo's trying to run her over with his TIE fighter. Rey ends up running him through with his lightsaber. They're not playing around. And this is how the bulk of their interactions go through this whole trilogy. There's no makings here for a legitimate romance storyline. And as I've said before, I actually think the whole idea of a romance between Rey and a redeemed Ben Solo could have been possible if they had planned that from the beginning. But again, it is crystal clear there was no plan. And so we end up with no love story in these movies. It definitely is a missing ingredient. But it's not a necessary one. If they had developed the relationships between the other three main characters, I think that would have been enough for people. Even in the prequels, the relationship that stood out to me was not the love story between Anakin and Padme, but it was the relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Their relationship was developed well over the course of the three films, and he did love Anakin as a brother. As it is though, Rey, Poe, and Finn hardly know each other at the end of all this. Another huge difference between the original trilogy. At the end of A New Hope, the first movie in this trilogy, you can clearly see Han, Luke, and Leia already care about each other very much. And this is what made Star Wars so great. Not the lightsaber battles or the space battles and explosions. It was the characters forging these strong relationships as they try to save the galaxy together. That is what's really missing from these movies. But those are my thoughts, but let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. While you're here, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for listening, and as always, have a very nerdy day.